In the criminal law, you cannot be convicted of a crime if you did not know that the action you were taken falls into the category of actions that the law forbids. You have to know what type of action you were taking in order to be convicted of a crime. There's a good example in the movie What's Up, Doc, starring Ryan O'Neal and Barbra Streisand. One of the key points in the plot of this movie is that 4 people all have a plaid bag. One contains stolen secret plans, one contains a rich woman's jewels, one contains some igneous rocks, rocks of no monetary value that are being used in some kind of experiment, and one contains a vagabond's clothing. They're all identical plaid bags, they get mixed up, and of course hilarious things happen from this. But notice, if someone innocently picks up the bag and finds there's all these jewels in them, the person could not be convicted of theft. Why? Because the person thought she was picking up her own bag, and it simply turns out that she's picking up a bag full of jewels. Here's another example from the television show Blue Bloods. On one episode, the police commissioner and the mayor were hosting a press conference in a somewhat dangerous neighborhood, and they were discussing the issue of whether there was adequate police presence. A young man in the audience stands up and fires a gun, apparently intending to kill the police commissioner, but hits the mayor instead, and the mayor is seriously injured. Here's what happens when the police are discussing this with him. That is, when the police are discussing what happened with the young man who shot the mayor.
Hector, you're pretty good at remembering some stuff, am I right? What did the guy who gave you the gun say to you?
Hector, here, under my chair.
Okay, and what did he say when he told you that he wanted you to fire the gun in the meeting?
It ain't real, Hector. It's just for fun, man. Like Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Notice what the young man is saying. The young man is saying he did not know that he had a loaded gun in his hand. He did not know that he was shooting someone. He thought that it was just some kind of a joke. Now, of course, one of the things they're portraying in this scene is that the young man has some kind of mental condition that made it much more easy for him to be gullible and think this is what was going on. Okay. It doesn't seem that he's completely dissociated from reality. I'm not sure whether they could get an insanity plea or not. But notice, right, if you or I made that claim, the jury would not buy it. Right? If it was clear that we'd taken the action, the jury would not buy that we fell for something like that. In contrast, this young man has some kind of mental condition, so the jury's much more likely to look at it and say, okay, this young man would be that gullible, okay, and he would not know the nature of the action that he was taking. And if you don't know that the action you're taking is of the type that makes it a violation of the law, then you can't be convicted of that crime.